Good morning, friends, and welcome back. I'm Mrs. Gordon, and I am so glad you are here with me today to learn new things. We have been talking about animal habitats. We've discussed about deserts, oceans, and also rainforests, and now I want to talk about grasslands. So if you have materials such as sponge or markers or paper where you can draw animal tracks with me today, let's grab all those things and let's get started. Grasslands are found on every continent except Antarctica. The temperature varies depending on the latitude. In temperate grasslands, like the Great Plains of North America, temperature varies with the season. These areas experience cold winters and warm summers with some rain. On the other hand, tropical grasslands remain warm all year long. They experience a wet and dry season. Overall, grasslands receive more rain than the desert, but less rain than the rainforest. Each year, the grasses that fill grasslands die back to their roots. The soil protects the roots, and new buds from the seasonal cold or dry conditions and the grasses regrow the following season. While grasslands may have a few trees located along streams or other small bodies of water, the lack of precipitation prevents too many from growing. Interestingly, the height of the grasses that grow in a grassland is determined by the amount of rainfall the grassland receives. In grasslands with more precipitation, the grasses grow higher. In regions with less precipitation, the grasses remain short. We are going to create animal tracks today. Although the grasslands could be high or low, certain animals make animal tracks as they are walking. Especially if it's wet conditions, they can leave animal tracks in the mud or dirt. And if it's a grassland where there's a desert-like, where it's hot sand, there can be animal tracks there. I'm just doing 4 different types today. I have an animal track of a zebra, a coyote, prairie dog, and bison. All of these animals live in some type of grassland around the world. Let's first create a zebra. A zebra's animal track looks like a hoof, and it's almost in a U shape. I'm going to take this sponge and try to cut it in the same shape. You might need different material to create the shape. If you need an adult to help you, then ask for help. So I have one here, and I think I'm going to cut one more so it can be on the other side. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just get it exactly the way the animal track is. Did you know you have tracks? Yep, your footprint. Have you ever looked at your footprint in the sand or snow or mud? All of those are your footprints. That is considered your track. Here is the zebra animal track. Now, if you really want to have some fun, you could put paint on these and then stamp it onto another piece of paper. Now, let's make a coyote animal track. This one looks a little different. If you look at the coyote and prairie dog, they almost look like they have the same animal track, the same footprint. Coyotes are a little bigger than prairie dogs. I'm going to take this sponge and kind of make it like the half oval shape. Then I'm going to make it a little opening Some animal tracks have a different texture at the bottom of their foot. This helps them either grip to the ground easier, or sometimes they might be climbing different rocks or mountains or even hills. The coyote is almost like a half oval. So there's my shape there. Then we have smaller ones. This looks like toes. They have 4 on their paw. It's called a paw. We have a total of 10 toes, but they have 4 each. This looks like it fits this shape here. I'm going to use the remainder of my sponge to try to create the other parts of the animal track. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And if you notice, these look almost like circles as well. That fits there. It's almost like a puzzle. I think I'll cut off a little bit more here. It's a little more round. There. And then I have one more. That can fit there. Does that look like a coyote animal track? I think so. Coyotes almost look like dogs, but they are a little bigger and they live in the grassland. Now, before we do the prairie dog, let's do the bison. Bisons also have a hoof, but if you can look at the zebra, it's a little bigger than the zebra. Bisons are big animals. Bisons look similar to almost a bigger cow. It's very hairy and they live in the grassland. So I'm going to see which type of animal track I can create using my sponge. These almost look like half circles too. Does that look like a bison animal track? I think so. Let's cut another one just so we can fit the other part. Remember, depending on the size of the animal, that's how large or how small the animal track may be, the footprint. I'm going to make this a little more rounder. And it's almost like a puzzle. Again, to be more creative, you can put paint on these and try to see if you can create the track on another paper. This is the bison animal track. There we go. Our last one is a prairie dog. A prairie dog, I don't know if you've ever seen, but if you have, it almost stands really tall in the grass. They have small animal tracks. They are usually what their name is in North America. You can see a lot of those in the grasslands of North America. It almost looks similar to a coyote. Can you see a difference? This one almost looks like a half circle. This one to me looks like a triangle. So I'm going to cut it out almost like a triangle. And then I'm going to outline at the bottom of the track. There's part of the prairie dog animal track. If you notice, the paw looks similar to the coyote. They have 4 other parts of their track. So let's see if we can match them here. Those almost looks like circles, more like ovals. Here's one. This one looks like it can fit on the other side. And remember, all animals' tracks are different, depending on the size, maybe even depending on the region, or depending on the type of species that they are. There's another one. And then one more small one. Right there. You have created 4 different animal tracks today. These are animals that live in the grassland. We have zebra, coyote, prairie dog, and bison. You might can find these in different regions in the different grasslands around the world. You did such amazing work today creating animal tracks. Next time, maybe if you're at a zoo or some type of museum, you can check out and see what types of animal tracks that are in there and who they belong to. Try to guess which animal. I hope you had fun creating animal tracks today. Grab your nearest adult and tell them what a grassland habitat is. And until next time, I wish you well.